That's enough of that.
From what I'm told, Neon Drive is supposed to be a rhythm game where you move to the beat of the songs and bathe your ears and eyes in its neon graphics and synth-pop melodies. Neon Drive isn't that. Instead, it's a frustrating, unrewarding, hardly fulfilling trial that actively punishes you for paying attention to any of the hard work that went into it. The game will only let you succeed when you submit your eyes to glazing over and succumb to muscle memory doing all the work for you. It's a game where you concentrate too much to enjoy yourself if you don't vegetate and forget why you picked up the game in the first place. Now, to be fair, some folks like this way of learning, the precise sciences, the patterns and the muscle memory. To criticise this would be to dismiss a lot of classic games, especially Mega Man. But Mega Man was well designed and a precise platformer. This is the mighty number 9 of rhythm games. Okay, so it's not that bad, and this time it really is better than nothing! True, this is a rhythm game, but only in its most vanilla, unforgiving form, and if it were just that, it'd at least be tolerable. Challenging, yes, frustrating maybe, but fair. But Neon Drive has a lot of flaws. For one thing, the music. The songs are great and I easily recommend buying the soundtrack alone, but they don't synchronize with the obstacles so well. There's a noticeable gap between when the next beat plays and when you move, so there'll be times when you get carried away all because you were doing as you were supposed to. Plus there's times when you're bobbing your head to one part of the song, and instead of moving to the drums, you're supposed to drift to the guitar or the bonogram. It doesn't help either that the game and music slows down after your first collision and that checkpoint, speeding up gradually and throwing you off balance. Still, the post-hit invincibility helps, unless it's too late and you're now reliant on muscle memory. And I think it's good when you get the chance to recover, plus normal mode is generous with its checkpoints, whereas hard and insane have far fewer. Now those things can be changed through settings, but there's other inconveniences that only the devs can sort out. There'll be times when the obstacles aren't too clear, such as when you're trying to evade a UFO's laser beams, and how the road can be unsafe even when the purple line of OWI has vanished. Another moment was when my stupid idiot driver zoomed headlong into oncoming traffic, made more aggravating with the lack of lines to distinguish which lanes were safe. And maybe it's just me, but the perspective is awfully skewy. I keep shifting lanes more prematurely than
an anime fan on the toilet.
I could understand if this were just one kind of obstacle or just actively moving ones, but it happens everywhere, especially in the airplane, seaplane, air, sea, car plane, spaceship sections. Just about the only one that doesn't actively screw me over are the asteroid levels, but that has 5 lanes instead of the usual 4. Instead of calling them asteroid levels, I'm gonna call it bollocks! But besides that, I can see why people like the game, and I see a lot of potential in its future, but we don't use that particular P word in serious proper big boy critique. So what do I want to see that would make this a Neon Drive by recommendation, and not a Neon Drive to a therapist? Assuming that what I said earlier gets fixed, and it should because I'm totes objectively right about it, a scoring system would do wonders. In the game of Neon Drive, you win or you die, and victory feels ultimately pointless unless you have friends that care you beat a level on insane. Also, having a friend would be nice, but I doubt ND can help me with that. A rating on how well you swerved out of the way of an obstacle would help people learn better timing, and maybe the points earned could go to new skins and cars. Or just leaderboards, that's just as good. Ghosts and an endless drive where it's multiple players drifting until there's one left driving would also add replay value in my humble opinion. 'Tis time for me to embrace the gifts of Slanesh by drinking in the visuals and the soundtrack.
At long last, I, Roboute Guilliman, have finally found the lost relics of the Salamanders. Vulcan can be freed from his slumber at long last. The Emperor will be most pleased. Not so fast, Space Marine! It's a gas called Margaret Thacker. Aye, that's right, Space Marine. I don't die so easy. Exterminators! Boom! Oh, I guess I should give you my final thoughts on this euphoric device from the Emperor's children before leaving this broadcast. I've still got the relic.
It's quite possible that there is a gem underneath my problems with Neon Drive. It requires twitch reflexes and patience at the best of times, and medical attention and repeated viewings at bottom at the worst.
Shit, the bloody kettle's still hot!
If that's not your style and you want more than bragging rights, I simply cannot recommend this. Even if you've got a raging hard-on for the visuals that make you wish you could snort blood dragon like it were cocaine, I still recommend the soundtrack only. I mean, I guess it could be called Crycane, the blood dragon I mean, not the soundtrack. So it's not my cup of technical tea. I can still appreciate what it does well and what it tries to do, but all it's made me do is electro-ejaculate my pantaloons.
How good were those drug puns at the end? I'll have to think of some more when I play some Portline Miami! Ta-ta for now, boils and ghouls!